But you know what the best thing you could do now is?
Apologize?
No, I don't want an apology.
Oh, what?
Is just hear me and not be so defensive.
Okay,
because
try
that
again.
would make me feel more seen.
Okay, try again.
So you actually don't owe it to me.
Okay.
To apologize.
Try
I'm not
again
asking
and see
for an
if I
apology.
can take it in differently this time.
I left the house a lot because sometimes I didn't want to be at the house.
What the fuck are you talking about? Our house is perfect.
Okay, good.
Okay, got it. Okay.
But the reason why I say that
Yeah.
is because that really worked for me. Like, I did have a happy childhood. Much more so. Are you going to cry? Are you crying?
Not even close.
Okay.
I'm curious to know if at the time... Oh, you want me to cry?
No.
I'm curious to know
It's
if
just funny
at
to say
the
not even
time-
close because it's all aligned with the same reaction to everything I'm saying.
I'm
which
wondering
is
if
deflection,
at the
deflection,
time...
deflection. You sound like me. I deflect via humor.
Well, where do you think you got it from?
Well, fair enough.
There you go.
Okay.
Hello.
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 Welcome back.
I've missed you.
I've missed you too. It's been... You
Minutes.
changed your shirt, but I'm still in the same shirt because it's the same
We've had
day.
this conversation
Yes.
before. Okay? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Oh, wait. I want to show you something before we start because this was cracking me.
Okay, I need glasses. Yeah.
I told you that we had that clip of we were joking about your abortion. You know that went super viral, right?
I'm well aware, yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
By the way, there was nothing better than watching my mother on her deathbed seeing the podcast of me having had an abortion. Okay, thank you very much for that,
Thank
Lucas. Yeah.
God she wasn't really listening.
Well, thank God she found out before she passed.
Yeah. It's important that we told her that you had an abortion.
Exactly.
Before she passed.
Exactly. Glad that came up.
Basically, this clip became this like talking point for all
Right.
these pro-life
Lightning rod.
influencers
Yeah. Uh-huh.
on the internet. This is probably my favorite that I've seen. Let's
Okay.
check this out, guys.
Okay.
Found out you were pregnant, and you were like, I'm obviously going to get an abortion.
Right.
You did.
I did.
And it never left an emotional impact on you.
No. There was just not a chance that I was having a baby when I was 21 years old or 20 years old.
She looks so
And I-
disappointed.
Not
Nipped it
even
right in the bud.
Not even a question.
Got it.
And coincidentally, or maybe not ironically, the GYN who I met then when I was 20 in college
Delivered your babies.
delivered you and delivered Lee.
Oh, so I was delivered by the merchant of death? I was
This
delivered by
explains
your
everything.
abortionist?
This explains everything.
No, but the GYN didn't give you the abortion. Or she did.
She did.
I was delivered by the person that gave you an abortion?
Yeah. And then when you popped out, you know what she said? The last one was much cuter.
The music comes in. Cue the
It's very
music.
clear that this comedian is very uncomfortable learning the fact that the doctor that delivered him killed his little sister or brother. And I don't think there's any amount of comedy that's going to wash this away. At the end of the day, when we're having questions about why do I have value, why does my life have meaning, when you know your existence is only permitted simply because of the luck of the draw, simply because your mom just, I guess, was having a good day and decided not to kill you, that really messes with you. You wonder why you have a generation of young people who don't know why their life has value and meaning. I think you can go back to the root of a lot of these problems, which is abortion.
Well, this explains why you have to go to therapy today.
I have no value
Oh
or meaning
my
because
God.
you're a slut. Oh,
Okay.
good news. You were having a good day the day you decided to keep me. If you're having a bad day, you might have just
Let me
wanted
ask
to.
you a question. Did you play that intentionally? Because you know what's going to happen. You're going to remind people. Then you're going to get a huge amount of backlash all over again.
No, because
for
no
this.
one has backlash to the abortion topic. Actually, there was some backlash at me, but I'm not judging you. I think it's great. It's healthcare. It's healthcare. But that's my. I'm
You're
pro-choice.
going to lose followers over this, and there's going to be backlash.
No,
and
no,
then
no.
we're going to have
Not
to
on YouTube.
apologize all
Not on
over
YouTube.
again.
If you're pro-life, great. I get it. Whatever.
Me too.
But I'm not, and that's my stance. Sorry. I'm pro-choice.
Pro-choice.
I'm not anti-life.
Exactly. I'm pro-life too. I think life is a good thing.
Life is a good thing. We're generally pro-life
But we're pro-choice.
We're
People should be able to
pro-choice.
choose.
if you live. If someone else lives.
Well, it's not as though I'm going to take you out this afternoon because I don't think you should live
Yeah.
anymore.
We are we're not anti-anything.
We're pro everything.
We love everything.
We do. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, anyway, I just love I love the whole genre anyway of reaction clips where people are, but like serious reaction clips. It's one thing to like react and laugh to something that you think is funny, but to be that lady, to watch us and be like,
The pain. The pain. It must be so nice to be that certain that you are right about it, something.
well, and also to be that certain that she's right about her analysis of how I'm feeling. Like
And
she's like,
and what I did.
yeah. But she's like, this comedian's clearly so uncomfortable. I'm like, that comedian was a little tired. That's all. I was just a little sleepy that morning, if anything. Okay, so let's get into it. This is an interesting one. It's sort of, you texted me yesterday and you wanted questions about loss and or family estrangement. This isn't...
Which I'm thinking a lot about because I just lost my mom.
Yes. Well, I think everyone's... I guess if you're just tuning in now.
Yeah. I'm hoping you're just
her
tuning
mom
in
died
now.
and we've been talking about it the last 2 episodes.
I'm hoping you're just tuning in now, which means we have new viewers.
Right. If someone told you to watch this podcast starting with the most recent episode.
Exactly.
Her mom's dead. And she's reeling.
That's rude.
Sorry.
My mom just recently died,
Yeah.
and it was emotional for you as well.
Yes.
And you're making a joke about it.
It's not a joke.
Because you cope with life through humor. That's your coping mechanism. It's sad, but you're working it out in therapy.
I made a joke about it only because my life doesn't have direction because I lost my brother or sister
Exactly.
when you were 20.
Exactly. Okay.
I could have had a sibling that currently
was
is
95
in his
years
late
old.
50s, and he
Exactly.
or she would have meant the world to me.
Exactly.
He or she could have bought me
They-
a house.
They could have.
Yes, my non-binary 50 to 60-year-old sibling.
Correct. Okay.
Okay. So this one, it's 2 things. So
yesterday you put out something that said we're looking for questions about grief, and all of a sudden they started pouring in?
yeah, I got more than I could. Honestly, a lot of the questions
Where
that I
do
got,
you post that?
just on my Instagram story, I got more submissions than I could even look through,
That's amazing.
which is really nice.
I should follow you on Instagram.
Well, you would be one of the few people in our family to be okay with following me on Instagram.
Only one.
Well, there's a lot of people in our family that don't follow me on Instagram for very specific reasons.
Specifically don't follow you.
Yes, you know who I'm talking about.
Okay.
My
mom.
Yeah,
My mom doesn't follow you.
that's
on
actually
Instagram.
really not funny.
Sorry.
That's a coping mechanism.
Sorry.
You've lost your mom. You're sad and you're
I
trying to
did.
make it funny. But
Okay,
it's
true.
not funny.
Okay.
It's only sad.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So this is a 2-parter. This actually came in last week. It's more about family dynamics.
Okay.
And the first part is not super relevant. The question becomes more relevant in the second part, but we'll listen to both because without the first, the second doesn't make much sense.
Okay.
So I've been divorced for a few years now, and I'm back home with my parents, with my 2 kids. They're 5 and 8. My dad and I have always had like this weird relationship where it was like very argumentative and distant. Anyway, so when I got sober a few years ago, like almost 3 years ago, we still have had like these really big blow-ups, and we kind of like don't acknowledge each other. And it's weird because we live in the same home and they help me with my kids, and we literally cross paths every single day, right? But I've noticed that I don't like being hugged. And my brothers come over and they'll always like be rubbing his back or like really close to my mom, and I don't find myself being drawn to that. I've had issues with the parent that I'm co-parenting with, and my mom has seen me be really upset or very sad and even asked me like, oh, do you want to go out to eat with us? And I'm like, no. Can I give you a hug? And I'm like, no. So yeah, I just want to know, do you think it's normal to have this kind of like relationship with your parents considering the circumstances? I guess I also want some advice on like how you think I can navigate being more open to spending time with my family. My brother's expecting his first child, and it's all going to be a very happy thing for our family, and I want to be close to them. But I don't know. I feel like I've always been the like, I want to be close but not too close. And I know my kids could benefit more if I were to be more open. So yeah, any advice would be great. Thank you.
So I took this question to mean, I know there was some specific information in it that's not the most relatable, but the question in general I thought was on a very relatable topic, which is how close should a family be? How much How involved do you want to be in a family? Because I know even in our family, we have so many different approaches to this. But you seem to be having a...
I'm having a very different reaction
What's
to
your
that
reaction?
question. So many reactions. The first is, why is she living at home as an adult child with 2 kids in a relationship with her parents
Why do
that
you
she doesn't
think?
like? Because she needs the money and she needs the support and she needs the childcare, which I understand. All I can think of is I had 2 thoughts. The first is a generous one, which is you're not doing your children a favor by having them see you in a relationship with your parents that's clearly fraught, because kids are so smart and they pick up on everything. So I don't think it's really that
you guys
healthy.
didn't have the best relationship with your respective parents. I wouldn't say it had too much of an impact on me.
Well,
Dad and his parents and you and your parents.
I was very close to my parents, and
Well, you talked a lot of shit.
I'm sure you guys talk a lot of shit behind our backs too.
I don't have kids. But I'm just saying it wasn't impactful to me. It wasn't negatively
You didn't
impactful
see it
to me.
day to day. They live in the same house
Right.
and watch it every day,
Mm-hmm.
and the same way kids pick up on all the nuances in marriages and relationships, and they take them in. And that's how kids learn how to interact with other human beings, by watching what their parents do. Right?
Mm.
I wouldn't want to be raising my kid in a household where there's no affection, where she doesn't want to be touched by her family, which of course led me to my next question was, are you affectionate with your own kids? Do you hug your own kids? And if she doesn't hug her own kids because she doesn't like to be touched, something else deeper is going on there, and I'm worrying. And
So you think if she doesn't hug her own kids, she's got to push through that and hug them?
what that goes without saying, but there's something deeper going on, and she needs to get some help. And she's not going to have another relationship if she doesn't want to be touched. I mean, I don't know. It's so interesting that we had very different responses to that question.
I just heard, look, we don't know these people. So I don't know. In every dysfunctional family dynamic, usually there's shades of dysfunction on multiple sides, but we don't know really, like, how's the father, how's she, who's more to blame for the untenable dynamic between them. What I thought was interesting is the question of, like, how to be a family and what's the most, I was going to say effective, but that's not really the right word. But what's the right approach for participating in a family, and what's the right approach for not participating in a family when you need to not participate in a family? Because what comes to mind for me is, like, the difference between how I grew up in our family and how my brother grew up in our family.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like every time my older brother got the sense that something was awry or off, or there was some kind of, like, emotional chasm in our family, he needed to, like, go closer to the source and investigate. And I think he was always, like, looking for secrets and looking for this and that. And my approach to being in the family, which worked out really well for me, was I was never home really growing up. And I had a great childhood, but I was always out, like, to the extent that there were rocky things happening at home for us, I wasn't really there for it. So I'm thinking more about that with this question.
I don't quite see it that way. And also, I think you were more social, had more friends, and did more things. So what you're looking back at is a retroactive interpretation of the fact that you would just like to go out and hang out with your friends. I don't think you were leaving the house because you sensed there was something going on that you wanted to get away from. Do you?
I mean, sometimes, specifically with my older brother. But also, you know, when we were older, he was like, well, when we were growing up, this was happening, and this was happening, and this was happening. And I was like, I don't know. I was out.
Right.
I was playing sports.
Exactly.
Or, you know?
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying is those are two very different approaches, because I know whole families, and I'm not talking about everyone's got their family drama. I'm not trying to invoke
Christos,
ours.
can you pull up the first sentence of Anna Karenina? And I might be misremembering it, but can you pull up the first sentence of Anna Karenina?
There were good times and there were
No,
bad
that's
times.
Dickens. That's Dickens.
The first sentence of Anna Karenina is, "Boy, do I love fucking 16-year-old girls."
Ew, that's
Isn't that
gross.
what that's about?
No, I think it's either Anna Karenina or War and Peace. It's one of them. If you can pull up.
Oh no, I think it's probably War and Peace. Then Anna Karenina is about fucking 16-year-old girls. Oh God, Zionism's still on the screen.
There we go. Wait. Let me hear. All happy families are alike. Each unhappy family is unhappy in its own way. That's what I was thinking about. I was thinking about that last night as I was falling asleep too. It's Anna Karenina, right? Not War and Peace.
And this is a book about having sex with a 16-year-old.
Anna Karenina?
What's Anna Karenina about?
I've read it.
It's thick. It's a big
lots
read.
of words.
It's Tolstoy.
It's Tolstoy.
I think someone's dying by train, and
Oh,
someone's
yeah, I
having
think she
sex
walks
with a
in front of a
16-year-old.
train. Yeah.
About a fatal love affair, family life. Oh God, not
you
mentioning
go.
that the love affairs with a 16-year-old.
No.
Married woman.
There you go.
Can we just look up how old Anna Karenina is in the book?
It's a little embarrassing.
It's
that I
just
can't-
weird because it seems like I have a pedophile thing, unless that's. Yeah. Here we go. 28.
Thank you.
Fuck. Who's 16? Wait. She was married off very young at the age of 18. No, that's still allowed.
Okay.
The fuck?
Anyway.
Oh, okay. So he's 48 in the book. So it's an age gap thing, but she's not 16. And by the way, why do I think she was? What's that say about me? I don't know.
There you go.
That is not a book about pedophilia.
No.
That is a book about families who are unhappy in their own way.
There you go.
I don't know if I really buy that. Each happy family is alike. I don't know if I buy that.
I think
I get the spirit
family
of what they're getting
dynamics
at.
are complex.
Yes.
All family dynamics.
I would amend that first sentence
To all 16-year-old
To-
families.
to just, I'd leave every happy family is alike out of it. Because every family, I'm going to rewrite Anna Karenina right now. Every family is happy and unhappy in its own way.
Oh, that's so profound, sweetheart. You
If
reminded me of Lee when you
is
did
Tolstoy
that.
alive? I'm kidding. He's dead, right?
You have notes.
He's been
You
long
have
dead.
notes, long dead. You have notes for him?
Yeah, I got
Okay.
lots of notes.
Anyway,
So
I
I'm not
just-
trying to get into like what was at home. Like I don't want to air out everything that was at home that wasn't good,
Right.
because every family has an element of that. But what I will say is I would say my approach to not liking the vibe at home was to go out, for sure.
I think, and I could be entirely wrong, I don't think you thought the vibe's not good, I'm going out, because I think the vibe was pretty good.
The vibe wasn't always great. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't always great.
Okay, you have therapy right after this, right?
Yeah.
I'm coming with.
But
Let's go.
no, I
Let's
mean,
have this
I
conversation.
know it's not what you necessarily want to hear. I loved my childhood. Don't get
Okay.
me wrong. But the vibe in the home was not always like pristine. And I knew a couple families, by the way, many of which, as I got older, I went, oh, they had their shit too.
Right.
Like, but families that when I was younger,
You thought their
I
family was...
perceived them to be such a unit. Like they
Right.
always wanted to like
Are they all divorced
stay in
now?
on weekends.
Are they all
and
divorced now?
One of them is.
Yeah, I know exactly one that you're thinking about.
And
yeah.
the other one isn't, but
throuple.
got close.
They're a throuple.
there were a lot. Both had actually quite a lot of marital drama in the years following.
Right.
But in the time, as an outsider in the house, I didn't see that at all. And
Yeah.
my perception of the siblings was that they were all such a tight knit.
Right. You know what I'm thinking? The grass is always greener on the other side.
Yeah. I mean, it certainly felt that way to me. But I think the most interesting thing was that my brother and I had completely opposite approaches.
Mm-hmm.
I think my brother, everything that didn't feel like a good vibe, he tried to pursue and chase down and understand. And everything that didn't feel like a good vibe to me, I tried to avoid and be in denial of.
I think what I hear you saying is you and your brother have different personalities.
Well, course, but I'm saying these are different reactions to the same experience.
Because you have different personalities.
Yeah, because there are different ways of being in a family.
Because you have different personalities.
What I feel like you're sort of
I'm just
trying
saying,
to...
in the situation today, if there was a situation that I threw you both into, given who you both are as individuals, you would have a very different approach to it. That's
Yeah,
my
but
point.
we were kids. I guess what I'm saying is, like, I'm talking about reactions to being in a family and approaches to being in a family. So you can say, yeah, because you have different personalities, but it's sort of an invalidating thing to say in the context of what we're talking about.
No, actually, if we go back to the caller, right, and she's
Mm-hmm.
saying my brother likes to be hugged and my other brother likes to have his back rubbed, but I don't. You know, you're different people, so there's nothing wrong with that. But the way she describes it is, again, I might be picking up on something that isn't there. And also, it's interesting because you're relating to her and I'm relating more to the kids and being protective of the kids. And I think that is because I'm a parent. Some people are not as affectionate as other people, but what she's describing is something to me that sounds more of I recoil when I'm touched as opposed to it's just not my way of being in the world.
Yeah, I guess I wasn't really focusing on the touch thing. I mean, she should be hugging her kids. Hug your kids.
Exactly.
Platonically.
No, but seriously, I mean, if you're in an environment where your kids are picking up on the fact that you don't speak to your father, I mean, what are you teaching your kids? That it's okay to live in a world and not talk to your parent? What's that about?
I guess it is. I was thinking more about, like, trying
and don't
to...
you want to, and by the way, as somebody who just lost a parent, right? Don't you want to resolve whatever those issues are with your dad? What are those issues with your dad? You know, she just presents it as a fact that we just don't speak to each other. Something's going on.
Well, she said they had a really argumentative relationship.
Yes, but she's an adult now. She's not a child anymore. So as an adult, how do you resolve that issue? You're both still behaving like children. By the way, this is a funny story, sort of. I was a very willful child, okay? The story has been...
Like, what do you mean by that?
It means I had a strong point of view. Okay? I had a very strong father who, wanted to be the boss, but I did not want anyone to be the boss of me. And the story goes that at the age of 2 or 3, because I had language already, my dad wanted me to do something, and I said, no, I'm not doing that, which, by the way, is also typical of, kids that age. And that my mom describes the fact that my dad and I weren't speaking to each other at the age of 2. Now, what does that tell you? That a grown man is ignoring and not speaking to his 2-year-old because she doesn't bend to his will?
Right. I think it also shows something else, which is that parents are very sensitive to their children's perception of them, much more so than I think we understand. One of the biggest things I've learned in adulthood is how much my perspective, it's obvious. Why would you not care what we think? But how much you guys care what we think? Because when we're little, and I guess this is what childhood is to a certain extent, you think you could say anything to your parents. And they'll be like, well, you're a fucking kid. But little did you know. Little do you know.
You hurt their feelings.
That you say something and then they go back to their room and
they
cry. They're like, my fucking kid hurts me. And it's such an interesting... But I experience it all the time. Even just what I said, I think I was just trying to tell you something about my childhood a moment ago.
Right. And I wasn't listening?
Yeah. But not because you don't care. Because...
I'm being defensive.
Yes.
For sure. I was being defensive. And we're going to talk about this off mic.
And you're being defensive because you care what we think. You don't want me to tell you that
you had an unhappy childhood.
But I didn't have an unhappy childhood. I'm not telling you that.
Right.
But you didn't want to hear that I might have gone out of the house to avoid some things that were happening in the house.
100%.
Yeah.
Not only didn't I want to hear that, I don't believe it. It didn't happen. And that didn't happen. But it's interesting to me.
Do you want to dig into that at all?
Not on camera. I don't want to dig into
that stance. That's really that's where you want to lie your flag
Lie my flag?
I don't know. You wanna
Is the light in
stand
here
on that.
different today? Is the light in here different today? I'm having a hard time seeing you today.
Are you being serious?
Yeah, I wanted to say this during the recording of the last one. It feels dimmer in there. I don't know if
It feels like no matter what I say, you're
deflect. I'm gonna deflect. Anyway,
do my hands get bigger?
Is your name Lucas? Anyway, I hear you. I took in what you said.
No. I don't. I'm not saying it to hurt your feelings.
No, I know that.
I'm just. I'm saying this because it all comes back to. Well, I thought I was saying it because it all comes back to a point that I was trying to make about the collar, but then we got kind of hung up because I was feeling great resistance to me trying to establish what I believe are facts, and I didn't think I was saying anything controversial to you. I don't think it's controversial that the vibes in our house weren't always amazing. Sometimes they were good. And sometimes they weren't. And when they weren't, I went and I spent a lot of time playing sports, socializing, and hanging out with my high school girlfriend's family.
Here's what I would... Really? She lived with us like 7 nights a week, your high school girlfriend?
No, I would say I spent more time with her family than she did with ours.
Really?
Yeah.
Because her family was normal?
No. But at the time, I thought.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Well, they were very tight-knit.
Fascinating.
Like all the siblings were friends in a way that I wasn't really friends with my brother.
Right.
Certainly not at that time.
Right, but you are now.
Yeah, we're buddies
And
now.
when you look back on it now, you got to admit, those other families were really fucked up and ours was perfectly normal.
Right, totally. You guys
Okay.
did such a... No, I think you guys did do a good job. I'm really not trying to be critical, but you have to... You know, you're coming off very defensive. And
Totally
sensitive.
defensive. You know why?
Why?
Because I would do anything and would have done anything to be a perfect parent if that existed, which
Yeah,
it
but it
doesn't.
doesn't.
I understand.
Yeah.
So,
But you know what the best thing you could do now is?
apologize?
No,
What?
I don't want an apology.
Oh, what?
Is just hear me and not be so defensive.
Okay,
because
try
that
again.
would make me feel more seen.
Okay, try again.
So you actually don't
Okay.
owe it to me.
Okay.
to apolo-
Try
I'm not
again
asking
and see
for an
if I can
apology.
take it in differently this time.
I left the house a lot because sometimes I didn't want to be at the house.
What the fuck are you talking about? Our house is perfect.
Okay, good.
Okay, got it. Okay.
But the reason why I say that
Yeah.
is because that really worked for me. Like I did have a happy childhood. Much more so. Are you going to cry? Are you crying?
Not even close.
Okay.
I'm curious to know if at the time... Oh, you want me to cry?
No.
I'm curious to know
It's
if
just funny
at
to
the
say not even
time-
close because it's all aligned with the same reaction to everything I'm saying.
I'm
which
wondering
is
if
deflection,
at the
deflection,
time-
deflection. You sound like me. I deflect via humor.
Well, where do you think you got it from?
Well, fair enough.
There you go. Do you think at the time, consciously, you were thinking, I think I'll go over to their house because I don't want to be in my own house?
I think sometimes, and
Okay.
sometimes not.
Okay.
I think I had a...
I'm definitely coming with you to therapy
I
after
had a
this.
big, exciting life,
Right,
and I wanted to go out and live it.
right.
Also, this isn't an indictment on my relationship with you personally.
I know.
You and I were very close. But it is... I didn't... Being home sometimes made me sad.
Okay.
It wasn't because I was getting yelled at or mistreated. I just kind of wanted to not be home sometimes. So was that because anyone was doing anything wrong? Was it because of me? It's sort of impossible to know. And then I went out and then I was happy. And then I came home, and when I was home and I was choosing to be home,
Right.
I was happy. But when I was home and I didn't want to be home, I left. And I think the difference between my brother and me is when he was home and he didn't want to be home, he stayed. And that could have been because he didn't have other things going on, or because that was his reaction to whatever feeling he was having, is that he wanted to try and mend it or try and stay in it or try and move closer to it. I think that's a reasonable reaction. And the reason why all of this is relevant is because that's what this listener's question brought up for me. I think we're both naturally gravitating towards the part of
Processing
the question.
it through, exactly.
She raised a lot of points, and I
Right.
think naturally I'm gravitating towards the part of the question that felt resonant to me, whereas
Yeah.
you were gravitating to the part that felt resonant to you.
100%. Yeah.
But the part that felt resonant to me was I heard someone asking, if I'm in a situation that doesn't always feel good to me, how should I react to it? And what I was going to say is what worked for me, not that I'm the pillar of health, emotional health necessarily, is I thought taking space really helped me sometimes. And I specifically feel that way in response to seeing what it felt like when my brother didn't take space when I think he needed it.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to take care of your kids first and foremost as a parent.
Mm-hmm.
They come first, especially if they're little kids.
Mm-hmm.
That goes without saying.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if you're in a home situation with your father that's not positive, there's something, and when you have, and her brother's expecting kids, and so, there's something to be said for the family that is like stuck together like glue, sure. But I think there's also something to be said for getting the fuck out of there
100%
for periods of time
dysfunctional
until you can be there, and so that when you're there, you're only there for a finite amount of time. Obviously you live there, so this is much easier said than done. But you can go places, like to a friend's house,
honey, you're talking about her like she's a child. She's an adult with 2 children. She's a grown-up.
No, but I mean, like, bring your kids to have experiences. And if I'm assuming, the reason why I say a friend's house isn't like on a play date vibe, I'm just assuming they don't have a lot of money given the situation that they're in. So I'm assuming that they don't have access to, like, you can't just go stay in a hotel for a few nights.
Right.
Obviously, I think if they could have their own place, they probably would, unless you guys are taking care of your dad, which would be a different situation, but that's not what it sounds like.
Right.
But I'm saying you might want to introduce space for your own benefit and for the benefit of your children from this home dynamic. And I think the more space that you introduce, the easier it might be for the time when you're together.
Once again, I love the fact that you are relating to the woman caller. I'm really relating to the kids. And all I can think of is if I were a child living in a home where the mother doesn't talk to her father, and it sounds more than just the mother doesn't talk to the father. It's fraught. He may be explosive. She doesn't want to be touched. I can't tell if she doesn't want to touch her kids or she doesn't want to touch her kids. I mean, all I can think of is that the damage, not to use too strong a word, but the impact on her children is profound. And you really got to stop to think about, she's talking about herself as the child, but in fact, she's not the child anymore. She's the grown-up in that situation. And she needs to take care of her kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, she's certainly got to take care of her kids.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to do one more before we go?
Yeah.
Are you sad now?
I'm heartbroken.
Because of what I said?
No.
Oh, you're being facetious again.
No, I'm not. I'm heartbroken for this caller.
For the caller?
Yeah.
Why are you heartbroken for the caller?
It just sounds like a terrible situation. She's living at home with a father she doesn't talk to and has never resolved her childhood issues with her dad.
Yeah.
And she's a grown-up and she's still holding on to them and she doesn't want to be touched. I mean, it's hard.
I guess I didn't
You didn't hear any of that.
I didn't hear the touching thing was such a big deal to me.
If you didn't want to get hugged, don't you think that would be bad?
I just think some people are like, that's like not their vibe. Like
Yeah,
a weird hugging. Because I don't love like a long hug.
You're affectionate. You're affectionate with your girlfriend.
You
give us
yeah.
a hug every time you walk in the door.
I'm hearing her say that her family's love language to each other, like, is physical touch. Like, she's like, my brothers come and rub my dad's back. Like, I'm not rubbing anyone's back in our family. So that didn't strike me as weird. If anything, it was the opposite. It struck me like she's sort of a regular person in this super touchy
so
family.
funny. We had, oh my God. Okay.
Yeah. I didn't hear her say, I don't want to be hugged by anyone. I heard her say, I don't want to be hugged by my dad and by my brothers.
Right. Okay.
And like, I don't love hugging any of you guys that much.
You don't? So you don't want me to hug you when you walk in the door? I
No,
always
no,
get
it's
a
not.
hug.
No, I like giving you a hug, but like a finite, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to like sit and rub your back like her brothers are rubbing her dad's back. That's like kind of weird to me. But you give nice hugs. I mean, you give when I'm sad, you definitely make me sadder in a good way, like in a warm, like when I get, I like whenever I'm going through something sad or
Right.
I was probably most recently sad about this time last year about getting so close to getting SNL and then not getting it. And I screen tested for SNL last year and I didn't get it. And I was...
How about when Bubby died? You weren't sad when Bubby died?
Different kind.
Okay.
Because when Bubby died, it's a loss. It's that we're all experiencing together. This one I really felt like a failure, which is a different kind of sad.
Okay.
And it's more of like, that's where you want to just like, your inner child is a little bit like, oh, and you just want to like give your mom a hug.
Right.
But then you always do that thing where you're like, oh, honey.
I do.
Honey. And you're like, oh God, this makes it so much worse. I'm 30 and crying in my mom's arms.
Aww.
So yeah, so I that's how I read the physical touch thing, is that it was more relational to her. It was a sign of how she feels like the odd one out in the family, because this family all prioritizes a certain way of being that doesn't really work for her. Mm-hmm. But I didn't see it as necessarily like she's got serious physical touch issues.
Maybe she does, maybe she doesn't. All I could think of was, this is heartbreaking to have an adult be stuck in her childhood dynamic with her dad. It hasn't changed. It's what she's modeling for her kids. It's dysfunction. I'm not being judgmental. I'm dysfunctional in 150 different ways, as is everybody on the planet. But at least let's call it what it is and say, I'm trying to work on my relationship with my dad, or I'm trying to figure out how to behave differently in this family, or something.
I just think it's so interesting because maybe I'm being crazy right now.
Right. But?
And I don't want any of you judging her.
Uh-oh. Okay, go ahead. I'm ready.
Be nice to her.
But oh wait, I can't wait to see all the comments
about
how old I am, how out of touch I am.
No. This wouldn't be out of touch.
Yeah.
But I felt like that we're having two conversations.
Right.
And you were encouraging the listener in the advice question to get into repair, figure out her family dynamic. Mm-hmm. And I was trying to use a metaphor of our family dynamic, and you were totally deflecting it and pushing away the willingness to talk about it.
I am really, really looking forward to having the conversation with you about it. Not when the cameras are on.
Why is that?
Because I don't know what you're going to say, and I'd like to have a really honest conversation.
Yeah.
But I don't want to have an honest conversation. You don't want
to have an honest conversation on a podcast.
No,
I
don't.
Dishonest conversation.
I'm happy to unpack it on a podcast, but do I want to have a conversation you and I've never had before?
No, not never. But that's the thing. I think we've had this conversation plenty of times.
Okay.
But you don't.
Apparently not. More deflection.
No, I don't think it's deflection. I think it's
denial. Okay.
But I think it's okay. I just think I wonder if it's clear to the people watching what I felt.
It's clear to me what you felt. I totally got what you felt.
That we were talking about one thing that you wanted to talk about as long as it was about someone else, but you didn't want to actually go there with yourself.
I understood that. I completely understood that.
That was intentional for you.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I don't want to have this conversation on your fucking podcast.
It's yours too.
Am I getting paid, Lucas?
Do
I have
are
followers,
not partaking
Lucas?
in the loss. In that sense,
do I have any
you
followers?
Are getting paid
do I have
because you're not losing.
Is anyone coming to my shows? No.
Well, if you start doing live shows for the podcast. So it's not your podcast unless you become a comedian.
Or an actress. Okay.
It's not too late to be an actress.
Yeah, it is. Okay, next question.
Okay. This one is a little more silly.
I like silly.
I think we can use that.
Right, okay.
Hi, Lucas. So I have a problem, and I would love to get your advice on it, especially as a man. My issue is that whenever I enter a space that's constructed for a woman, say, for example, a yoga class, a Pilates class, a female clothing store, a movie that's geared towards women, and a man walks in by himself, I am so scared that he's there to commit an act of violence. And I appreciate men. I am a feminist, but I just can't comprehend that a straight man would enter a female space without malintent. So as a straight, maybe, man, please help reassure me. Thank you.
Oh.
I love how every time people refer to me as straight, they're like,
me.
As a straight man, I think from what I've seen.
How old do you think that woman is? Did she say?
She looks somewhere probably early 20s, I would guess.
Interesting. Okay. Do you have a response to that?
Yeah. Look.
He's going to make a joke, whoever you are. So get ready. He's going to make a joke.
Not going to make a joke.
Yes, you are. You're about to make a joke. Go ahead. Let's hear it.
Not going to say something.
Let's hear it.
I'm not going to make a joke. Look, these men are there to do violence.
Exactly.
No, I mean, are they there with malintent? Here's the thing, okay? These guys, you obviously, every 1 in 1,000 of them shoot, right? Or whatever the stats are.
Okay.
I hope it's less, but in America it might be that.
I have no idea. Yeah.
For the 999, let's say, that don't actually have a weapon on them, just let me finish.
Mm-hmm.
You're right and wrong at the same time. They're lonely, I think. A solo man. First of all, if a female clothing store, a solo man, they're probably shopping for their girlfriend. But a Pilates class solo man, that's a lonely guy that wants to be around women. And that is kind of scary.
Oh, my God.
Unfortunately. There is something a little bit scary.
Men should not do Pilates?
No, there's just something a little bit scary about a lonely guy.
Okay. Are you done? Because this is not
No,
good.
I'm not even kidding.
Okay. Just because a man goes to a Pilates class doesn't mean he's lonely.
If he's straight, it does mean he's lonely.
He's there to hit on women?
I think actually, like maybe,
Uh-huh.
but I actually think he's there to be near women.
Oh, my God. Okay. 2 stories. First, I once knew somebody, and I even know who it was, and I'm not going to name names because it goes back 35 years, who thought he was so smart because he told me he was trying to hit on women.
Mm.
He had figured out how to do it. He goes to gay bars because he's figured out that a lot of women
Go to gay bars
Go to
to
women-
feel safe and
Go-
not under the male gaze.
so
And he
that they-
wants to perpetrate that space,
Exactly.
that holy
He
space
went
for
to
them.
gay bars specifically because he knows a lot of women go there so they don't get hit on.
Yeah.
So they just go with their women friends, and he's figured out how to get around that.
Yeah,
Okay.
he figured I would go to the very last place where they have safety.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think what your caller is describing is something, and she's young, and I'm old, okay? I think as a woman, you are forever at some level feeling a little vulnerable. And the thought of being raped is terrifying. And to this day, when I walk home alone, sometimes on a dark street, I'll put keys in between my fingers, which is what I learned to do in college. Because I went to a college where it was a bad neighborhood, and I took a self-defense class. And one of the things they taught you is to walk home with keys in between your fingers. And I think if you're a female species, you probably at some level are always aware of the fact that a male species is stronger, bigger, and I don't think it's a matter of thinking I'm just walking in. I think it's a more existential feeling, not just if I'm at my Pilates studio or if I'm at a women's clothing store. I think you're aware of the fact that a man can overtake you and that some men might be crazy. And by the way, some women are crazy too, but I think you don't stop to think, if I meet a crazy woman, I'm not going to be able to fight her off.
Right.
So I think it's an
See
existential.
how well I listened just there?
I think it's an existential reality of being a female.
Yeah, I do think so too.
You never think I'm going to
But
walk
she
down
asked
the
for
street.
the male's perspective of why they're doing that. Why are these guys going into female spaces? That was what the question was about.
Is that really what the question was? I thought the question was, what do you think their intent is walking into this space?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I just said.
Okay. Okay. Go on. And what's that? You think they're going because they're lonely?
I do. I think, let me tell you this.
Yeah. When you're lonely, what do you do, Lucas?
Well, I would not go in solo to a female space like that, but I have gone into a
What if
female...
you're shopping for your girlfriend?
Oh, no, I don't mean to close. I guess I'm thinking of like a yoga class. So I've never gone in solo.
Have you ever gone to a yoga class? Really?
But I've gone either with a girlfriend
Right.
or I've gone with another man, which I don't know if that helps, but I think she's saying like the solo man. I'll tell you this. When I've gone with another man to a yoga class, it is because it's never because I like yoga.
No.
I'm sure there are some guys. You'll know the guys who like yoga, and the way you'll know them is they'll be good at yoga. But if you
But how do
see
you get
me
good
in
at
a
yoga? But
class,
how do you get good at yoga if you don't go to a few classes first?
Right.
You
right.
practice
That's
at home
true.
in
Yes.
front of the mirror, and then you go to the class?
You might be watching a very ambitious novice,
There.
or here's the thing. Here's what I do at a yoga class is I go in, I have to get the blocks because I can't even sit cross-legged without the blocks. You know the
Right.
blocks
I
that
do,
kind
yeah.
of ease your
Yeah.
flexibility. So I need the blocks. And then, and I go to the gym too, and they're like, okay, we need you to like stand with your knees slightly bent for like 35 seconds and 5 seconds. And I'm like, well, I can't do that because I'm built like a pterodactyl or something. Like my limbs are all so long
Right.
that my ability to like sit, like be like that, I just get so uncomfortable.
Right.
But the reason why I go or have gone, I wouldn't go now that I'm in a long and happy relationship, is
You wouldn't go to a yoga because you're in a long and happy relationship?
Yeah, because I used to go because it felt nice to be around pretty ladies.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I didn't look too much, but it was just nice to be in their presence.
So you're
Like when I was single.
So in fact you are actually validating what she's saying.
I had
You're
no
a
intent.
pervert.
I had
Holy shit.
I had no intent to commit harm.
You went there to look at the women?
No, not look.
What?
Be around. Just be surrounded by.
Oh my God. You're going to lose followers over this. And I'm going to unfollow you over this.
Wait, why is that bad? We like you guys.
But you can see us on the street. You don't have to go to the yoga studio.
We
Well, I
don't
just
get to see you on the street for long enough. You walk right by.
Oh my God. What did I raise?
Why is that bad?
It's bad.
How?
What
How's
do
it
you-
bad to want to, if you're not bothering them and you're not looking at them and you're not giving them an undue creepy vibe, is
What?
it not?
What? Go to a bar. Don't go to a yoga studio where somebody's there for an intentional practice. Don't go to the yoga studio.
God, this is not going the way that I hope.
No.
They're not trying to commit. This is what I'm saying about you're right and wrong at the same time.
No, she's right.
They don't want to do you any harm, but they want to be near you.
Oh my God, that's revolting.
Why is that revolting?
I'm sorry, you're wrong. You
Wait.
should not be going to a yoga class.
Well, I don't.
in order-
First of all, can we back up? I don't do this. I've done it like twice. As a single man, I've gone to a yoga class.
to hit on women.
No. Not to hit on them.
To do what? Look at them?
Not to look at them.
To do what then?
Be near them. Be in their presence.
Oh my God.
It's actually not. It's the exact same reason why I would have gone to a bar, which
Good.
is
Yeah.
I never hit on women at bars. I never hit on women. Period. I never ever initiated a conversation with
With
a
a woman. How
Ever.
did you meet your girlfriend?
dating app. But I
You
never
must have-
initiated like a face-to-face. I was never into that because I was like, I'd rather be lonely than creepy 100% of the time. Unfortunately, you seem to believe that those are one and the same.
Totally.
But sometimes when you're a lonely guy, here's something that I used to really do a lot of when
Are
I
you
was.
sure I want to know this?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to stand 10 toes on this. And you can excoriate me in the comments
Okay.
if you wish.
Okay.
I used to, when I was single, go to a coffee shop
Okay.
and sit at the table
Okay.
and drink my coffee
Okay.
and just like stare off wistfully.
Okay.
And my coffee shop, it was on the Lower East Side,
Yeah.
and there was a
On the corner
ton of pretty ladies there.
Okay.
And I liked-
even that language is offensive to me.
Pretty ladies?
ladies? Oh my God.
Pretty
I don't think
Women.
that's politically. Thank you.
pretty women.
Pretty attractive females. Please continue. Attractive women.
Attractive women.
Okay, please continue. Yeah, you don't say pretty ladies. It's like, why not just say pretty gals?
Okay. God. Who knew she was woke all of a sudden? You became woke.
Yeah.
I would like to there's just that hope, that romantic belief that you're going to bump into someone and you both drop your books and you're like, oh, I'm
Okay, at a
but it never
coffee
happened.
shop is fine. But a yoga studio where somebody has gone intentionally
No, but you
to
go,
practice.
you get something out of it too by going.
What?
But that's not what brings you in the door necessarily.
Okay. Lucas, when you go to the gym,
Mm-hmm.
why do you go to the gym? To
feel good about
exercise.
myself.
To exercise, right?
To feel good about myself, more broadly.
No.
Yeah.
You go.
What do you mean? Wait,
I'm
you
not
can't tell
making
me
it. Why do when you wake up and you walk into your gym?
Yes.
Are you thinking, I hope I feel good about myself when I leave, or do you
Yes.
think I'm going to do X reps? This is my thing. Blah
The
blah
first.
blah.
I do it completely and utterly for my sense of confidence and my mental clarity. Truly.
Okay.
I go in there to feel confidence, mostly confidence, self-confidence.
Say more.
When I don't go to the gym,
Yeah.
I feel out of shape. I feel unattractive. And by going to the gym, the practice of going to the gym, I don't actually think about what I'm doing at the gym. Not one bit. I'm not like that. I don't write a workout out. I do what I'm feeling.
Right.
And what I'm feeling I want to do is based on what will make me feel physically strong and more confident in myself.
So you don't think about working certain body parts.
Not when I'm walking there. And it's not what motivates me to go. What motivates me to go, and this might not make me healthy necessarily. I'm not saying this is healthy. I'm just telling you the truth.
Okay.
What motivates me to go is sense of confidence. Sense of confidence. And to feel strong and to feel attractive.
To yourself or to other people?
To myself. To feel like I am an attractive person. And because when I don't feel attractive, I feel insecure. And that's not a good feeling. So if I don't go to the gym for a week, I start feeling like I'm so skinny. And I don't like that feeling.
Okay.
So I think that's probably, this feels very male coded because you don't seem to resonate with it at all. I'm guessing that when a woman goes to a yoga class, she doesn't want to be perceived by a man. I'm guessing for the most part.
Right.
But I'll tell you this, and this is a fundamental difference between men and women, is if the gym was I go and do biceps while lots of pretty women are around looking at me, that would feel nice. I would love that. I like being stared at by women in the gym. I like that. But I do know, I find it very hard to imagine women like being stared at by men in the gym.
Well,
when
curious.
I go to the gym, I
Right.
try not to look at women.
Right.
Yeah, I think, having been in this position, if it's a solo straight man, he's there because he wants to be around pretty women. Wow. Men do not like Pilates. It feels awful on our bodies. It feels awful to us.
Okay.
And I'll posit this.
Yes.
If you're a man, if you're a straight man and you love the feeling of Pilates, you're gay. You're actually a gay man.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that we have now diagnosed.
Yeah.
I think
But-
all those men. Wait. All
Yeah.
you men who are thinking about going to Pilates today should definitely look in the mirror and say to themselves, "It's time to come out."
Yeah.
Okay.
I also
talk.
think, here's what I'll say. I've never once gone to a yoga class solo as a straight guy. Not once.
Okay.
Not once. Okay. And I think if you are a solo straight guy, being a man in general, it comes.
Do men do yoga if they're straight, or are they all gay too? All men,
men
who
do yoga to be around women if they're straight, and they do it for themselves if they're gay.
Okay.
Doing yoga for yourself, for the spiritual practice
You're gay.
of at least you're bisexual.
Okay. Okay, good.
There's nothing
good.
straight about deriving the spiritual value of being a yogi as a man.
Here's what I think we should do.
Yeah.
You and I should go to a yoga studio.
Yeah.
Stand outside.
And see who goes in.
See who goes in and interview the men who go in, and also
I think the
enlighten
men
them
who
about
go-
the fact that they're not on top of their sexuality.
Here's what I'll say.
Yeah.
Men, straight men, I'm talking to you. Gay men, keep doing your thing, girl.
Yeah.
You do you, babe. Straight men have an obligation in the world,
To not do yoga.
to know that they are a potential threat to straight women and to be sensitive of the fact to keep their distance from women, to not creep women out by getting too close.
Ever.
It's like women are like wild animals, And straight men have an obligation to keep their distance so as not to threaten them and cause them to feel fear and therefore react accordingly. So these men that are making you afraid are failing because the onus is on you as a man not to make women feel fear. The onus is not on women to not feel fear. I think back to your point. I'm actually agreeing with you. You're making a face like I'm not.
Okay, so I think the lesson I'm taking away from this is if you're a single straight man, either going into a yoga studio or going into a store where women shop.
Yeah, if you're can we agree on this?
What?
If you're a single straight man,
Yeah.
you should not be in a woman's clothing store unless you want to dress that way.
Yeah, what if you're a cross-dresser?
Yeah, if you want to do drag or cross dress,
so
or
wear
if you're
a sign.
trans, that's
How about
great.
if you wear a sign that says?
No, but we're saying straight. The assumption is cis, het, straight man.
Okay.
You should not be in a woman's clothing store.
Signs. Maybe that we can come up with like a universal sign that says, "I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not going to threaten you."
But if you're really a straight guy
Uh-huh.
who's not going to wear a woman's clothing and you don't have a girlfriend, you shouldn't be in a woman's clothing store. That's no place to. That's not
Okay.
your space at all.
Okay.
Like yoga, you get the benefits of yoga, whether it's female coded. Same with a female movie. Like I like rom-coms, so you could be in a sort of a movie geared towards a female audience and not have malintent. Solo straight guy in a clothing store, you have to assume one of two things. One is they have a girlfriend that they're shopping for,
Or
and two is that they are there to do harm. Those are the only two.
okay, those are the only two options.
Those
okay.
are the only two options.
Good talk.
But they don't want. I think a lot of men feel the same way that I did when I was single, which is we want to be around you guys, but you have to take a lot of care in not getting too close. You do. You got to give women space if they don't know you. The last amendment I'll make is, and this is to my straight men again, gay men, you do you, sweetheart. You can get closer to women as a single straight guy, the hotter you get. If you're gorgeous, you don't have to take as much distance as if you're ugly.
If who's gorgeous? The
The
man?
man.
If the man's gorgeous.
A very, very handsome man
Yeah.
can get closer to a female stranger. It's like there's probably like a mathematical equation.
Oh, interesting.
But like what?
So you think as a female you're more scared of somebody who's unattractive?
Of course.
Okay.
Now this may not always be true. Some of the biggest
I don't
murderers,
understand
Ted
why
Bundy was hot.
Exactly. I don't understand why I get into trouble for what I say on this podcast and you don't. I mean, that's
I do. I
outrageous.
literally do.
Okay, good. So I'll tell you a funny story and then we can close up. Ready?
Yeah.
I used to work out, believe it or not. I don't do that anymore, as you know, but I used to actually go to a gym years ago when I was in my 20s. My first job out of school, I worked at ABC News, and I used to go to a studio on the Upper West Side. There was one man in the class who I thought was a little creepy, now that you mention it, okay? And it was more of it wasn't a Pilates class, and it wasn't a yoga class. It was more weights and whatever. So it was perfectly appropriate for a man to be there, but it was the middle of the day, and it was a man, and he was a little creepy. And he asked me out, and I thought that was a little creepy.
Yeah, you can't ask anyone out at the
No.
gym. None of those spaces is that appropriate.
So I said to somebody, that guy, he asked me out, it's a little creepy, was James Taylor. I know.
See, that's tough.
See?
How did he look?
Just
like James Taylor.
Like Sweet Baby James, what can I tell you?
Damn.
And it was hilarious because I
And that
naturally...
explains why he had the confidence. Because he was coming up to you like, you're
Probably.
welcome, I'm James Taylor.
Exactly, I didn't know who
And
he
you
was.
were like, you're balding.
Yeah, long stringy hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. This goes back, I mean, he's obviously still alive. I have no idea what it looks like today, but this was literally...
He just was on Stephen Colbert. Yeah.
Oh, he had a lot of hair then.
Oh, God, that's him?
That's
wait,
him
can we
now.
go down to young James? Can we scroll?
There.
Can we click that one where he's playing the guitar? He's kind of a cutie pie.
He wasn't at the time.
He looks like a Brooklyn softboy.
Yeah, he didn't look like that when he hit on me.
Wow. He didn't look like that.
No,
Would you have said yes to that?
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, go to the top left. Did he look more like that?
No, didn't look like that
He didn't even look like
either.
that either?
No.
How many years ago was this? Did he look like that?
Who's he with there?
No, this is him.
4 days ago, that was him. Where it looks like he's in Israel. James,
we
the
almost
band.
made it a full episode.
Okay, love you. Bye bye. It does look like he's there. Who's he
Wait,
with?
can you go to the middle one? That's probably the woman that said yes.
Exactly.
Did he look like that?
I wonder if I gave you a date and you put it in there, if it would show up with a picture of what he looked like in that
Did
year.
he look like that on the right?
No.
That's kind of weird.
No. He might have been in his drug days because he was.
Did he
his
have a
hair
drug
was
day?
stringy. Yeah, he was an addict.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was a heroin addict.
Heroin
Think.
addict? James Taylor?
I think, but I don't want to.
Okay, let's scroll down.
You can Google him and find out.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Where?
Up. How about that?
Yeah, a little closer.
That,
A
yeah.
little
See,
closer.
that's the thing.
I'm pretty sure he was a drug addict.
The difference between that guy and the other picture
there
we
you
saw
go.
of him,
See?
that's exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
He was
But
too
I didn't
ugly.
But I didn't think he was going there to hit on women. I just wasn't interested.
You didn't think, but you thought he was creepy because he was just a presence that was unwelcome.
No, I was used to him being in the class, and it never dawned on me to think, why is a man in my exercise class? Men get to exercise the same way women get to exercise.
Yeah, it just depends on the kind. Men don't get to do certain kind of exercise. Men can't Zumba. You know what I mean?
I don't know. What was that guy's name?
Oh, Richard Simmons?
Yes, good
Pump
memory.
up the jam,
Yes,
pump it
thank
up.
you.
Yeah.
Was James Taylor a drug addict? Just before we close, because I don't want to.
Because you don't want to slander him?
No.
Yes,
James Taylor
Taylor.
shows severe
Wow,
long-term heroin and
heroin.
substance addiction.
18
years. There you go.
Oh,
Okay.
my goodness me. I picture him so much as, like, my whole lifetime, he's been, like, the old guy that did, like, sweet, soft rock that was playing in the background of, like, dinner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, this is a downer. Okay, love you.
Love you. Anyway, shout out James Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
Probably good that you didn't sleep with him at that time if he was all mixed up in that crazy
There you
life.
go.
So.
Yeah, okay, good. Or even go on a date with them. I didn't have to sleep with everybody I went on a date with,
That's your journey. I don't apply to that.
Bye.
Bye.